You know that becoming an authorized user on somebody's credit card can boost your credit score by up to 100 points in just under 30 days. This credit building strategy is one of the most underutilized and misunderstood strategies in personal finance. In this video, I'm going to share with you everything I know about authorized user accounts, the good, the bad, and the ugly truth that most credit repair experts will not tell you. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which credit card companies are good candidates for authorized user accounts, and I will show you how to screen a card so you can check to see if a card is a good candidate. So let's jump into an authorized user account. What is an authorized user account? It's simply when you take an existing credit card holder, let's say it's somebody who has an account with Chase or Bank of America, and they are considered the primary card holder. They can at any time authorize anyone else to be a user on that account, hence the name authorized user. Now, when that happens, they submit to the credit card company that they are submitting you to become an authorized user. When that happens, a card in your name attached to that account gets sent to the primary card holder. Now, this card does not have to be used, it does not have to be activated. Now, what happens to the credit report? That account and that authorization that was given to you will take that entire card and its history and will attach to your personal credit report. There are two steps to this process. One is getting added as an authorized user to a card, and the other is when that account actually posts and appears on your credit report. A couple things there with data points that are really important that you get right, or a lot of times you can run into a situation where you get added as an authorized user and it just won't post, or you'll get added to an authorized user and it may just post on one of the credit bureaus. There are three important factors that matter when evaluating whether or not a credit card is a good card to get added to as an authorized user. Number one is the aging. The older the card is, the more strength it's going to add to your credit, especially if you have a limited history or if you're just recovering from having credit issues. You want to get added to a card that's at least 2 years or older. Anything less than 2 years, it's questionable how much of an impact it's going to have. Ideally, you get added to a card that's been open for 20 years. That's considered a very strong card. Number two, the balance history. If you get added to an account that is a card that is used frequently and the balance is always fluctuating up and down, that's the same way your credit score is going to fluctuate if you're attached to this card. So in a perfect world, you're attached to a card that's always got a very low utilization. Under 10% is key. Ideally, it's somewhere between 1 to 3%. That's going to give you a steady boost to your credit score without those fluctuations. Number three, the payment history. You want to make sure this account has always been paid on time. If it has a 30-day late payment anytime in the last 5 years, there's a good chance that it's not going to help you as much as you think it will. And in some cases, depending on when the late was reported, it may actually hurt your credit more than help your credit. Now, the last catch that's also important is not every card will post as an authorized user. There are major credit cards, and at the end of the video, I will tell you exactly which cards are good cards, which ones you want to avoid, and why. Now, one of the biggest concerns that people tend to have is if you add somebody as an authorized user to your card, does that authorized user assume liability on that card? And the answer on that is a resounding no. You are not transferring liability. You are simply giving somebody permission, which is known as an authorization to be able to use the account. The ultimate liability always rests with the primary card holder. One of the other questions is, does the authorized user's credit history mesh with the primary person's credit history? The answer to that is a resounding no as well. Your credit does not mix with that credit. This is simply taking an established credit card and you're just giving a simple authorization to it. It's an easy on and an easy off thing that you can do. So because of that, you do not transfer liability. It is very easy to get added. It's very easy to get removed. And there are specific ways to do just that. Now, what are the pros and cons of getting added to somebody's authorized user account? The pros are as follows. If you're somebody who has a very thin credit history, or if you're somebody who's had a lot of credit issues, and you are wanting to get into a mortgage, the mortgage version of the credit score will factor in the authorized user account as if it is your account. So if you've had major credit issues in the past and you're able to get added to 3 or 4 20-year-old accounts, that is going to do a significant amount to your credit score because it's going to add all of the history for 20 years, and you're assuming all that history is perfect, and all of that aging. One of the important factors in credit scoring is the AAOA, which is the average age of open and active accounts. And many times when you've had credit issues, or if you don't have any credit, or you have a very limited history, so when you get added to 3 or 4 accounts that have been open for a long time, it has a significant impact on the credit score. Now, the catch is this. The most recent credit score versions, such as FICO 8, which is not that recent, but it is relatively recent, and the newer ones like FICO 9 and 10 and 10T, they don't just allow any authorized user to be included into your credit score. The more advanced credit scores, which is FICO 10 and 10T, have advanced technology and have the ability to determine whether or not you are an authorized user to a complete stranger or whether it's a relative or a spouse. And if that is the case, then it will count. But if it is a complete stranger's account, let's say somebody unrelated name and completely from a different state, then that account will not be factored into the score. So there's a very limited use case for an authorized user account. And currently, one of the use cases that it is very effective for is for mortgages. So if you are wanting to get into a mortgage and you have a limited history, or maybe you've had credit issues in the past, you do want to get added as an authorized user because it will significantly increase your credit score and it will boost your credit profile. And now one of the main questions that people have is, well, if I'm added as an authorized user to somebody's account, and what if they, for whatever reason, start defaulting on the account, or maybe they have high balances and now you're stuck to this account? Can you get removed off this account, and can you get it off the credit report? The answer is yes, you can. Every credit card company is going to function a little bit differently, but as long as you call up the credit card company and say, hey, I'm an authorized user on this account, they will have your personal information. You can simply ask for them to remove you from that account, and you can request that they send it in writing. Sometimes you'll see different policies where they will ask for the primary card holder to make this phone call. The single best way to monitor whether or not these accounts are getting removed off your credit report is by creating the 3 accounts directly with the credit bureaus. They'll be in the description here below. And that is also actually an incredible way to vet whether or not somebody is a good card. So if you have somebody who's willing to add you as an authorized user account, here's a little trick. It's going to help you take a look and pick and choose which card you get added to. Have them create an account with Experian. If they don't already have them, a lot of people already do have them. Sit with that card holder if you could. Log into the Experian account, under the dispute platform, click submit a dispute. You're not going to submit a dispute. Click that you're going to file a dispute, just like it shows right here. And now what you're going to do is you're going to see their credit report in real time. Look at the credit cards. Once you click the detail on the card, just like right here, you'll see all the history. When was it opened? You can see the payment history. And if you scroll down, click on these buttons for each month there, you'll see what the balance has been. And you'll also be able to take a look and see what the billing cycle end date is. You see where it says date last reported? That's the billing cycle end date. So that gives you an idea of you want to get added before that reporting date, and then you want to look for it to be on your credit report about 5 to 7 days after that date. One of the other things that you want to do before that, get the credit bureau accounts created with all the bureaus, TransUnion, Experian, and Equifax. The links are below. And I'm going to show you right here what you want to do. A lot of times you'll have different addresses showing as your primary residence. You want to make sure everything is aligned. You want the same address on Experian, you want the same address on Equifax, and you want the same address on TransUnion. A lot of times if you have limited history, one of the bureaus may not have an address, or if you had credit issues in the past and you've got old creditors, you haven't had credit in a while, they may be reporting or have last reported an outdated address. That is one of the things that you want to avoid, because if the personal information doesn't match exactly what's on your report, it's hard for that account to find you in the credit system. And when it attaches, then it will report. If it can't find it, it won't attach. And then you'll either have a situation where you get added as an authorized user and you don't see it post anywhere, or it'll only post on one of the 3 credit bureaus. And if you're going in for a mortgage, that is not going to help you. You will want to have it reported on at least 2 of the 3 credit bureaus. Now, when I spoke earlier about the one card that is not a good candidate to get added to as an authorized user, that company is none other than American Express. And here's why. If you want to get added as an authorized user to an American Express account, that's fine. You can certainly do that, but do not expect to get the entire account's history reported to your credit, because American Express will only report your history from the date you started. So it is just like opening up a new account. And a lot of times, depending on what you're trying to do, the mortgage version of the FICO score is very sensitive to opening up new accounts, especially if you haven't opened up any in the prior 18 months. So if you get added as an authorized user to American Express account, you're thinking you're doing a good thing, but your credit score can actually drop because of the account history. And that is one of the things you want to avoid. So you want to avoid American Express. Now here's a list of credit card companies that are good candidates to get added to as authorized users. We'll start with the big ones. There's Chase, there's Bank of America, there's Citibank, there's Discover, there's Capital One, and there's Barclays. All of these are good cards that I know firsthand will report to all 3 credit bureaus as long as all the other data points are aligned. And guys, I cannot stress to you enough how important it is for you to create the free credit bureau accounts directly with each bureau. There'll be a link in the bottom for another video that's going to show you exactly how to navigate these accounts. These accounts are completely free. They do not hurt your credit, meaning these are soft inquiries. You can log in here whenever you want. Does not damage your credit. One of the things to keep in mind, these companies are always going to try and make you purchase a subscription. You do not have to do it. The scores you get from TransUnion and Equifax are the Vantage score. We did a prior video on Vantage score. It has a very low adoption rate. It's going to confuse you, and it can be significantly different than the mortgage version of a credit score. Sometimes it's off by as much as 150 points. So you want to stay away from purchasing these subscriptions, but you want to create these bureau accounts. There's a video that will show you exactly how to navigate, and you can look at your credit in real time. You can check to see whether a credit card is updated. You can check to see whether an authorized user account has posted. You can check everything in real time without hurting your credit. These are the most important accounts you can have if you want to take control of your credit. The only other add-on to that would be a subscription with MyFICO if you want to know where your scores are really at. And this is very helpful if you're somebody who does a lot of deals. You're planning and preparing to purchase either a vehicle, lease a vehicle, rent an apartment, or you want to buy real estate or refinance real estate. And then the last thing that we're going to end with when it comes down to is when and how should you use authorized user accounts. I mentioned before, it's great if you have limited history or if you've had credit problems in the past. Now, you want to get added to authorized user accounts, make sure they're good cards, make sure they've posted on your credit report. And then the other part of this process is you also want to establish new credit. It's critical that you open up several types of accounts that you have open on your credit. You have to remember one critical thing. The credit scoring system in this country can only come up with a credit score based on your ability to manage debt, which means if you have $3 million in the bank, but you don't have 5 credit cards open that you're paying regularly, it will not be able to give you a credit score. There are serious data input limitations to what factors can go into a credit score. They cannot plug into the IRS and see your income. They cannot plug into your bank accounts to see your bank balances. So they have to look at how you manage your obligations. Because of that, you want to have several accounts open. You want to make sure that you've got them on auto pay, that you always pay them on time, stay on top of them. If you want to really do things like purchase cars, or if you want to purchase real estate, having 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 accounts is something that I would strongly recommend, because the more instances you have of paying accounts on time and the longer you have the history of those accounts, the stronger of a foundation you're laying for your credit and the lower of a risk you'll be, because you're demonstrating a track record across multiple accounts that you're able to pay accounts on time. If you're interested in reestablishing credit or you want one-on-one help with that, there's a link below as well. We have a program for that. It's called Credit Restart. We'll guide you through the process if you want to set your credit up in the best possible way where you'll lay the strongest possible foundation. We'll put together the sequence of where you should apply for what type of credit, and we'll explain every single credit option for you. There are a ton of credit building products out there. There's quite a few of them that I'm not necessarily a fan of, but there are quite a few that are very powerful products if they're used the right way, and we'll be able to explain all those options to you so that you can actually get ahead of your credit, take control, lay a foundation, so when the time comes, you'll have the red carpet rolled out no matter what you want to do. And you won't sit there and kick yourself in the butt and say, God, why didn't I do this earlier? Guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope this has covered anything. If you have questions about anything in the video, leave it in the bottom there. Thank you.